All right. Welcome, 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 everybody. This is the Think Like a Pro call where we have joined together with myself. I'm Bandy Flake from Snowflake, Arizona. I have been doing this business now for 12 years. We just hit our 12-year anniversary with LifeVantage, and we are, I don't know, I'm so in love with this company. I'm so in love with these products, especially the new Lemonade Axio is back, which I absolutely love. And so tonight, this is a group call with several elite leaders. We have Elite Pro 7, Debbie Krall out of Florida. We have Elite Pro 8, Greg and Kai Hayes out of Austin, Texas, and a lot of their Filipino team joining us tonight. We have Greg Deeker, who has got a conflict tonight. And Kai's doing a call with the Philippines. Awesome. And Sunny Belanjo, which he has been there. Greg, can you help me mute people, please? They're coming on, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks. Okay. Anyway, and we are really glad, you guys. I just got a text. Sunny is feeling better. So Sunny Belanjo is planning to be at Activate in June, which is fabulous news. He got really, really sick with COVID and some other complications. So we're really grateful for those prayers that he is doing good. Announcements. Saturday is LifeVantage Academy. You guys, I hope you are registered. If you can't make it in person, then I really hope you are going to watch it virtual because it will be amazing. And then June, we have Activate. And there are only 200 tickets left out of 2,000. Remember, they had 1,000 tickets. They sold out in 2 days. They doubled it. Now we're almost sold out of the 2,000. So I've got my LifeVantage jersey on. I am ready for the game. And I'm ready for that event. I'm super excited. We had a really cool elite call this morning. Just kind of dripping on some stuff. The Pro 10s were in the house and they were talking about how excited they are about Activate and talking about some of the changes because keep an eye on your emails. There are going to be some changes for those of you in the United States for shipping starting in June. So watch for those. And, and we have to make changes. We have to make some stuff, but that's part of growing. That's part of where we're at in this business and what makes it so amazing. So tonight, you guys, I get to introduce, and I got one of my dear friends. The best thing about this business, you guys, is the friendships you make, for reals. And so I don't even know how long ago I got to meet this beautiful, beautiful soul. But Kamaili is a Pro 5 from Hawaii, and she has the spirit of Ohana, the spirit of aloha, and just so much love. I have just loved watching the team Tropical Biohackers and watching them grow and watching what they've come together with as far as a team culture. And just having a little piece of that, you guys, has just, it came at a time when I was struggling with my belief in myself, my belief in, in this industry. And all of a sudden I watched this team grow and I watched how they grew with love. And it was literally everything we had written down and just watched it explode. And anyway, it's just been amazing. So I'm honored to turn the time over and have Kamaili share her story with you guys.
Hey, oh my goodness. I'm so honored to also be here. And I am so grateful. There's one thing that I always say, you said that was a small group, but I always say when I'm presenting that whoever is supposed to be here and listen to the right information, and you never know what sort of information that they, have been praying to listen to or to touch their heart, that'll be the right information that they take home. So I'm thankful for the 17 that are on, and I'm thankful for all of those that will tune in a little bit later. And aloha to all of you. Mabuhay. I'm Kamaile from Oahu in Kailua, and I am a Pro 5. I have been a Pro 5 for probably, the last year and a half now. Super excited to be with LifeVantage. This is my main gig. It's not my side hustle. It is my main hustle. And that's because I am a single mama of a little man who is 6 going on 7. And so my journey started, oh gosh, way long ago, as a Hawaiian health practitioner, 18 plus years ago. And I, had been listening, to some of my friends as they, started to kind of infiltrate our little community here in Hawaii and in Kailua with little bits of information. I thought, oh, that's nice. They're onto something new. This is probably some network marketing thing and whatnot. And they tried to get me to so many different events and, invite me to so many different things. And finally, one day, it wasn't about, this is what I'm going to talk about today. It wasn't necessarily about the information. I literally always joke that one, I didn't think that I needed, any of the stuff that you guys had. I was already either growing it in my yard, literally like olena is what we call turmeric, or I had things very well researched because I've been in Hawaiian health for a very long time and I value what I have put in my body, even in the health spectrum. And so I know a lot about, healing the body and in healing. And I thought, oh, that's nice. But it was just the right time of my life where not only one, I was praying for some change financially because I was going through a hard time in my relationship. And I knew that I needed to start to a kind of a plan B. But more than anything, I went for the glass of wine with the girls. I needed to get away from my son, and it had been, at least 2.5 years since I felt like I even got out of the house. It did something on my own as a mom. This is my first and only. And I certainly needed, time away from both of them. So I went and sat in the back of the room. I literally kind of just had my arms crossed like this. And by the end of the evening, I don't think it was the wine, by the end of the evening, I was leaning in and I was helping to share, that information, like, oh, do you know that herb does this? And, da, 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 da. And so it just seems serendipitous. And this is so funny because out of the whole 3 years of being 3+ years now of being in LifeVantage, I can't say that there's not one person that hasn't told me that a part of their story was that they were praying for something and this happened to, come into their lives just at the right timing. And so I feel that uniqueness that brings us all together on that level of mana or energy or prana or chi or, just that life force energy within us that connects us all. I feel like that really empowers who we are. And so I've grown to get obsessed with LifeVantage and our products. I've definitely, like Vandy was saying, kind of gone up and down, like we all have, of like, okay, do I have it? Do I, what do I need to know? How do I show up? What do I say? Who do I reach out to? I mean, there's so many ifs, and what ifs, lingering, especially when you're trying to build something for you and your son to stand on, my son to stand on. And I can proudly say that, 2 years ago now, I was able to say no thank you to a relationship that was no longer lifting my highest good up in my spirit, nor supporting my son. And that because of LifeVantage, I've been able to stand on my own 2 feet and survive here in Hawaii. I don't even think that it has anything to do with Hawaii anymore. All of our rates of living have gone up exponentially across, every country, it seems. And so I feel like we're all in the same boat. And it's a very relatable story. But I love the title of this call, how something about how leaders think. And, and it's so interesting because I think one of the main things that I came, to really share from my perspective is, how they say, believe bigger sooner. and, borrow that belief, borrow that, whatever. That is so, so true. But what I want to say is build community sooner is my new tagline. It's like, I have come to realize that because of the community that we have intrinsically woven into the way that we move, the way that we do things, the way that we show up on social media, having fun. I think Melissa Brown was on one of our calls just recently, our team calls, and she said, I think you guys like celebrate not only every year birthday, but you celebrate the quarter birthday, the half birthday, the 3/4 birthday, and then the year birthday, because she's like, you guys are the best, you celebrate birthdays like it seems like crazy over there. And really what we try to do, and that really keeps our community tight, sidelines, uplines, downlines, I mean, you name it, we are trying to really build into that, community. And then when you get that, that small cluster going, then then that feels empowering, and then you just start to attract that greatness and that goodness, and then you move into bigger circles and you realize that you're just a small pod from the bigger community that we've all created that stems from our heart, right? But when you feel, and I don't know who's an entrepreneur out there, but I was a serial entrepreneur. I felt like, well, I just knew that I wasn't going to work for anybody else, because I just knew that my mind wasn't set up that way. So I have had business after business after business. When you're a business owner, you set up shop, and here's your brick and mortar, or here's your table at the craft fair, or here's your, your online store, and you set up shop and you say, la la, here I am, come and look at me, I'm selling this. And everything behind the scenes, they may see you in this beautiful setting and you have gorgeous things for sale, but they don't know the chaos in the back room that's happening on multiple hours of just like wearing the bookkeeper hat and the marketing hat and the production hat and the financier, and it's like all of these things come into play, and you're just wearing yourself down. And I really came into this business thinking, I can do it all. I'm just going to show my face and everybody's going to, believe me. And, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to show up doing this. And I'm going to do this. It was all mainly about what I was going to do for my business. And I want to empower you that this is your unique, beautiful business. But when you realize like that community is one of our fundamental things that we look for to survive in this world, right? It's food, security, community, a sense of purpose. When those things align, gosh, does it feel that much easier to say, hey, Vandy, what do you think about this idea? Well, I've already been through that. So here's my experience. Let's go ask, so-and-so over there. And then you're able to build upon that community. You're able to build strength, and you feel like you're not alone. And I really, truly feel that sense of community. And when we celebrate that sense of community, that's where you're able to truly, truly start to attract. As Deb, I don't know if any of you are doing the ICANN Institute. As Deb says, we start to feel loved, we start to feel secure, we start to feel as if our foundation is really, really strong enough to bring that on. And so if you can imagine that you're just building small foundations. So the first foundation is just starting out and getting your footing, right? And then the second foundation is kind of moving up and realizing like, oh, I'm building a little an online store and getting to and helping to be the teacher, the educator. And then as you move on to that bigger foundation, and now that your foundation is a little bit stronger, now you have all these customers, and you hopefully have at least one distributor. Now you're kind of moving in the foundation of like, okay, well, I really need to not only immerse myself in my community, to gain the wisdom that they bring forth, and that have carried forth, for us, but also to immerse myself in the knowledge of how other communities work outside of our business, in things that we're passionate about, in things that we want to learn about, in business, opportunities. And so we start to build, and then from there, then we're building leaders, and so we're standing on different platforms. So if you can imagine, like, you're just stepping from platform to platform, building your community bigger and bigger, and you're helping others to also, step upon those platforms and then sooner than you know it, you're just looking out, and there's all, and it may not be a step like this. It may be just kind of a beautiful, pathway from one side to the other. And that when you kind of reach the other side of the lake and you look back and everybody's standing at the same level, you realize like how many people have congregated with you around the same heartfelt mission. And everybody's literally like just reaching back and grabbing the next person's hand. And it's, what do you guys do? This is what you do in Mexico, right? I haven't gone yet, but you literally move one brick from the next to the next and the next. And all of a sudden, the small movements of all of those bricks, you look back, and you all stand there at the end of the day in awe and look, oh my gosh, in tears, I have built a home for these beautiful people to live in that they didn't have that opportunity before. And so I just think that if we build community sooner, we are living the dream. We're literally living the dream of not one person making it and making their family rich or have legacy or, or have all the wealth. We are literally building pods and pods and pods of perpetual, health and wealth for generations to come. And I think one of the pivotal things that really helped me to move into that space, outside of just getting to know myself daily, like sit in prayer, sit in meditation, whatever it is, even go on single-minded activities, whether that be golf or surfing or knitting or sewing, where your mind is just focusing on one thing. That's a state of meditation, whatever it looks like for you. When you do that, I feel like you have that open communication happening where the ideas that align with uniquely you really come into play, and make sure that you write those down, that you move off of those, that you really move off of that space of information. What is that one kids movie? Of course, I watch all the kids movie. It's something about music, and then he died and went to heaven. And then they were talking about being in the flow. It's like, make sure that on a regular basis, you're in the flow. But when you're in the flow, I feel like you really are starting, how they always say, get to know your why, get to know your why. Do you know how hard that was for me? I'm like, I want a house, like that's my why. Like, and then as the layers kind of came off and I really started to know and understand myself, I was able, and I'll come back to this one point that I thought was very beautiful, know and understand myself. I realized that I was uncovering through that kind of meditation space, I was uncovering my larger why. And now I get up and I'm super excited because it doesn't just pertain to my son and I. It's not just our home, but it's generational homes that I'm looking to fulfill within the bigger community here in Hawaii. So, but one of my mentors and teachers and just dearest friends, she said to me the other day, as we worked on this project of having homes, generational homes for our people to continue to stay here in Hawaii and not be forced away because we live in such paradise, is she said, what are your guiding stars? And I have always thought, I've always heard, okay, well, as you're setting up your family, as you're setting up, any project, um, make sure that, you have your values. These are our family values. We always stick by these, right? We always have guiding principles. When she said it, what are your guiding stars? Like, oh, it's almost as if you're a ship sailing, right, in that beautiful destination, I think we always think in terms of the Hawaiian voyage, from Tahiti to Hawaii. And when you're off course, when you feel like that doesn't feel like right, I don't feel like reaching out to that person. I don't feel like sharing on social media this way. I don't feel like this, that, or the other thing. When you're out of alignment, most likely it's because your guiding stars, you're far off course from the guiding stars, and you really just have to define those. And those could be as simple as you want to see everybody with health, you want to move with fun and joy, you want to make sure that you always come across as somebody with the utmost integrity. Whatever it is, I urge you to kind of really define, in every little sector of your business, or just the overarching of your business, is what are your guiding stars? Because whenever anything feels out of alignment, you can just go, aha, that's because that's not fun. I need to still get there. I need to do this, but I need to create something that seems a little bit more fun to me, and maybe make something like Seth's doing right now, which is, some really fun reels and being goofy. But if that doesn't feel like, your style, then find out what your guiding stars are, so that you can really course out and navigate where it is you want to go, in alignment with who you are intrinsically and naturally. So, but yes, build community sooner, because the more that we have people on our canoe paddling with us, oh my goodness, it's so much easier. And again, I feel very blessed to have a business that grows every month, and whether or not I show up or not, and that I get to link arms with some of my best friends. So I am so in love, though, with all of our group. I feel like we have tremendous leaders that have been helping to navigate that community and hold space for that community, such as Vandy and Kai and all of you that I may have not met yet. And I feel it, though, in my heart. So I appreciate you. But I'll leave it open for questions. And I didn't catch all of the little chats that were coming through, but yes.
Yeah, if anyone has questions, raise your hand. But Kamali, I loved a couple things. I mean, I'm sitting here taking notes as fast as I can type in right here. But I loved what you said about the guiding stars and making sure that it's within alignment with who we are. So my son was just in Moana, and that was the whole point of, they did the little Moana Junior play. And that was what the whole point of the play was, of, learning to find your journey, listening to who you are on the inside. And I think so much about this. One time my mother-in-law said to Sam, she was, I wish your dad would have seen you do this business. And for a minute, like, I am sad that my father-in-law is not here. Like, would have been a great grandpa for my kids. He passed away before my daughter was born. So, but I don't know if he would have seen the vision of this. And I don't know if at the time Sam would have had enough of belief in himself to do this business without, with listening to somebody be negative. So don't listen to anybody be negative, you guys. You know that this is the business for you. You know that this is your guiding star. And it is a lot more fun when you have more people paddling in the water with you. And I loved what you said about following those people that are making it fun. I hate being silly on social media. I hate talking. But you know what? when I'm silly on a reel or do something silly, my views go up, my things go up. And I did one and it took me just a few seconds because I thought of a reel and I just did it really quick. And literally it was the most effective one I had for Axio ever. But so just think about those, you guys. When you see ones, don't wait to make it perfect. That's my problem, is I have all of these reels saved to do and I never do them. Just do it quick and do them fun, and it makes it fun. Follow those people and copy. If you guys see something funny that anybody does, do it. So Kamali, tell us a little bit more. I don't see any questions popping up yet.
I don't know, considering that we have a lot of Filipinas in here in Hawaii, like their sense of community is very strong. Everything, culturally, a lot of our similarities, of cultural basis, revolves around food and getting together and things like that. So I don't find that is, probably anything that is outside of their normal scope of the way that that people think, considering that this call is geared for those that are in the Philippines. However, when you can unite as a common goal and make sure that everybody is working together, even if you're not on the same team, and realize that we're all on the greater team, I do feel that significantly shifts the perception of why LifeVantage is so different, because we have such a powerful message, to give out. But outside of that, I don't know if anybody has like any, you were talking about in particular social media and doing the reels and things like that. And I was showing up doing those, and they were super funny and they were super fun. But then I, started taking, doing a class mainly about creative writing, and on social media in particular. I have a mentor now, and he just really gave voice and is giving us exercises to give voice to being our authentic self. And so I show up, and my reels now are just showing kind of pictures of what I've done, and maybe, filtering in a little 60-second story about either my day or my childhood or things about me, because the more that people know and understand, to know, like, and trust me based on that, that's how I'm able to attract my specific tribe, people who know and understand and move the way that I, move, because that makes it a lot easier. It's a screening process as well. And then where I sell is the information about what I'm doing and help to educate more in my stories. And so I'm doing that on a daily basis. And it's really, really been beautiful to really engage people up in the stories, whereas my authentic self and my voice gets to be displayed, for everybody. But interesting enough, my coach said the best thing that you could do is build community. He's like that. When I see my other friend in Herbalife, because he has a friend that that obviously does that, he said, all I want to know is, where are they at? What park are they at? Where are they exercising? Like, why are they having so much fun? Like, I want to be part of that fun. Like, he wants to be in that social setting. And I think that is so true, especially coming out of COVID. So many of us have really isolated and gotten used to isolating ourselves, from really engaging and not just connecting via, technology. So that's such a huge part of our personal success here in Hawaii, is that we're able to have those in-person meetings and, work sessions, etc. And it makes a difference, because the energy is certainly elevated when we're all together. So yay. I hope that helps, though, or if not, at least you know my story.
Wow.
Go
Go ahead, Tebby.
Well, I love your story. It's great. It's beautiful. And I know why your business is going like crazy. And thank you so much for being here. But, you know, all of us go through times that are really difficult. And sometimes we don't talk about that. But that is what makes us who we are. And I so appreciate your story. And I know you've had some bumps in the road. So maybe some of the people that are on tonight can hear your bumps in the road too.
Yeah, gosh, my bumps in the road, that's so true. And interesting enough, that's where I'm getting the most traction on social media, is sharing the vulnerability, and some of the bumps in the road. And are you talking about mainly, Debbie, bumps in the road in regards to business, like our business in particular, or just life?
No, I think about the business that, well, things about the business that are difficult. I know for me, I was all in about the product. And all I wanted was everybody to be on it, whether it was them or their horse or their dogs. And, you know, you get this pushback, and then we just are sometimes just totally deflated. And how do we get over those situations so we can go ahead and reach other people?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I'll just tell you my latest, because it feels like just turmoil, like just so harsh. I'm like, you get to these places, and I know that that's why, Deb, is really helping to work with your mindset. And I've been studying mindset for years now, so it's not anything new to me to hear what Deb's talking about. But sometimes if we're not uncovering all stones, so there's a Hawaiian parable in the story that you have a bowl, and you're given a bowl at birth, and that bowl is full of light. And as you walk along the river and experience certain things, you actually pick up stones, and the stones start to go. And so those experiences, and sometimes often, troublesome experiences, start to, if you can imagine, the bowl starts to get heavier as you're carrying them, but then the light is obviously dimmed. And so it's only spearing through some of the stones. And what we're told to do, as in our Hawaiian thought process, is actually just to tip over the bowl. It's as simple as that. It's letting go of all of those things, and that's called ho'oponopono. But one of the things that I specifically have struggled with is, who am I? Like, how do I show up? Do I even have authority to say this? Like, I don't want to come across as, the health know-it-all, because I don't know it all. Like, even with my background, I'm like, how do I speak to this? How do I become the expert? How do I show up and share? I even in nutrigenomics, the field of nutrigenomics, like, how do I communicate that when, but what I did start to just dive into was, what are some of the things that bring me joy, and how am I able to, describe myself? And I realized that community and connection was definitely one of them. I love figuring out business strategies, so that's something that I can talk to. And that I don't have to define myself to this one specific person. I don't have to be just this, nutrigenomics coach, or I don't have to be just this, expert in the XYZ to be able to show up for my people. I can just show up being me. And the best thing that I can do, and the best thing that you can do, and you can do, Vandy, and everybody else on this call, is to literally show through example your light that has changed. And the minute that they say, I don't know what you're doing, Debbie, but your skin looks amazing. Like, you're glowing right now. And I'm serious from that, but I don't know you to compare you. But when they start to say that, like, or your hair looks awesome, or wow, I noticed that your horse is different, what's different about you or your lifestyle? That's when things naturally become, you speak from your heart versus trying to pull knowledge out of nowhere to speak. But when you can speak from your own passion and experience, and show up with all of those vulnerabilities, I feel like that's the chicken, the winner chicken dinner, right there is, and that's why I delve into every single day, getting to know myself more, being okay with being frustrated, showing some of my vulnerabilities on social media, walking people through those, and whatnot. So, oh, thank you, Greg. Yeah, that personal growth, you always kind of take it for granted, because what do? We set up shop and we're like, go, hurry up, open up the doors, because we need to sell something, because we need to survive. But really, one of my distributors said the other day, oh my gosh, I'm so busy and I have this appointment with this person and that appointment and that lunch appointment. I'm like, you are literally working right now. I'm like, that is the best thing that you can do with your business, is actually get out there and just continue to grow those relationships, right? So yeah, anyway, I hope that helps.
Thank you so much. Excellent
Yeah,
information.
yeah. But there's many more. Call me. Yeah. So, yeah.
People just need to know it's not a cakewalk. It's all perfect. It's about
Nope.
your work, what you're willing to do for yourself.
Oh,
And
isn't
very
that
proud
the
of you.
truth?
Thank you for
Yeah.
being on.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah.
Well, Kamiley, I just am so grateful that you got on this call and shared. You're so inspiring. You guys, the longer I've been in this business, it's funny because, they say filter and sort on the people you're looking for. Well, then you start doing it with your team and you start meeting people and you're like, that's going to be a Pro 5. This is a person that's going to grow. And that was my first thing when I met you. Gosh, you were I don't even remember which event it was. You were there with your little boy. How long have you been in now?
3 years now.
3 years.
Yeah.
So it would have been right before COVID then. Yeah. And it was. And it was just one of those people I met and I'm like, this lady's got a heart of gold and I want to know her more. And I've just watched her journey grow. And that's going to be there. And yes, Candy, I will get a copy of this meeting sent over. So, but you're going to meet people like that you are. And you're like, this is a person that's going to be in forever and they're going to grow into an elite because they start with the behaviors and they inspire all of us. I mean, here you are sitting there teaching elite leaders on this call and, we will share this out, but what you said about having joy, finding joy, making sure they align with your guiding stars. And, so I was trying to, Karina said she relates a lot to your story, personal growth, mindset, you guys. Honestly, this has been so amazing, and you don't have to be the expert. Get on social media and share your struggles. Those are what inspire people. And, and it's okay not to be perfect, Who posted one the other day? Holly Highfield posted one this morning, actually, and said, she's sitting in the gym. She's like, I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to come today because we didn't get there late. So I decided I was only going to go for 10 minutes and just do the bare minimum. But she got her workout in and it was just inspiring to me, who didn't feel like going to the gym, it's my workout class today, but I went and did it because I saw her reel of her being real, in real life. Be honest, be authentic, you guys. That's the best thing in there. And yeah, we will be back here next Wednesday. And you guys make sure you're on for Life Advantage Academy. I promise those events will change your life. Yes, you guys, if you're watching online, you have Marisa from Arizona coming. Sam and I got to present with her in January in Phoenix. And holy cow, talk about someone that just blew you away. She was the first person in Arizona, one of the first people in the whole company to qualify for Croatia. So if you want to jump in with a lady who, doesn't have any background in network marketing, but jump in with somebody and take those notes of somebody that is doing the steps to qualify, make sure you're online on Zoom. In fact, I think I'm going to make sure I get access to it. Even though I'm going to Phoenix, I'm going to get access to watch hers because it's going to be that awesome. So thank you again, Kamiley.
You're welcome.
If we can do anything for you, please let us know. I appreciate you so much.
Oh, I appreciate you so much.
You guys, that building community, building connections is what this company is all about. And I just look forward to these calls each week. Summers get a little crazy with me, but we'll be on there as what we can. I can't remember who's next week, but I will be sending out, hopefully I'll remember to send out the poster sooner for everybody on the WhatsApp chat. But I look forward to this. I'll drop the recording in there too as soon as I get it posted. Thank you again, everybody.
Aloha.
Thank you so much.